I'm one of those stories that, you started at the home. As a child, like summer break, it's summer break in Manila right now, and parents are wondering what to do with their children. So summers were spent either in baking class or in art class. I'm very fortunate to finally find a platform to combine both. So it all started out in the home, and then it progressed. This is not part of a plan. It's just that when you start baking for family, and they are appreciative, and you get motivated and encouraged to do more and more. Back then, it was not part of a career plan. It's just a hobby, something that you did. And it just, pastry has been very kind to me. I've been fortunate that, it's panned out the way it has. I started out exactly like these ladies as a home baker. And during my time, many years ago, there were no culinary schools in Manila, no culinaries in the Philippines. So the business came before the training. And when I had the time and the means to find training, that's when I would go abroad and take classes, expose myself to different stimuli and experiences. And I think that is part of how effective and how successful you become as an artist, is when you remain well-rounded in experience, and that's where you draw the experience from to kind of set yourself apart from the next person. It's the same with any art form, I believe. Well, the lantern cake. Okay, I feel now that I'm in India, it's come full circle, because like the finale for the ProBaker is taking inspiration from Indian designers and translating that or reflecting that onto cake. And the very first time I came into a project that evolved into a lantern cake was working with one of the top designers in Manila, who was a good friend, making a cake for his sister. So the whole concept of the wedding was Indian in theme. And he turned to me and he said, we want Indian theme and we want the cake to somehow glow. And so working hand in hand with, different people who were part of the wedding, his mother was an interior designer as well, I was handed a book on palaces from Jaipur and Udaipur, and it fascinated me so, all the intricate details that went into the palaces. And so I said, I took these details and archways and used them to frame my light. And later on, the very first lantern cake that was featured nationally was a challenge to come up with a white cake. So I came up with a white version of that, and immediately I knew I wanted to do a white on white version of an Indian theme based on the Taj Mahal, because it's made of white marble as a monument to love. And so that piece was topped by a replica of the Taj, the top, the cone, and then all other parts of it, apart from the archways, were covered in chicken curry. So I've been doing my research on Indian crafts and styles and designs for 15 years. And it's been a dream to finally come to India and be surrounded with, the artistry of it and where it's all come from. Super excited to be here. About ProBaker, when I first spoke with Mohit, who heads KitchenAid India, I was romanced by the platform of empowering the Indian home baker, especially the women. I'm all for that. I'm all supportive of that. And what was really great is that, home bakers usually don't have access to the support and the exposure to the professional side of the craft. And now these women are gaining confidence out of the project, and hopefully you will help raise the level of standard of skill from the home. I started out as a home baker. That's why I jumped at the chance to be part of the project. Well, what is the challenge to coming up with a ProBaker program was finding a plan that would cater to all different levels of skill. And I did tell the contestants coming into the ProBaker program to throw all the previous preconceived notions out the window and come into this with, with positive attitude. And although they each come with a different level of experience, they will come out of this with the same level of appreciation and the right attitude towards it. And that's what carries you through. It's not an easy job. And a lot of these women work from the home. A lot of them have families, and they work at night when everyone else is asleep. And it's the love of the craft that, you know, gets them going, and hopefully, and it serves to make their lives better. Make their lives better, yeah. I had been looking forward to it just as much as the final 8. Every location that I teach in, you know, if you're teaching off location, apart from your own kitchen or your own studio, it's always challenges, right? So I've been very fortunate on this trip because the KitchenAid team has been a dream team to work with. They have provided for everything, very supportive, nothing was impossible. So that gave me a lot of confidence because I'm in a strange place working with, you know, new people. But the final 8, you know, to talk about them, except for 2, everyone had never touched fondant before, never had touched this material before. So it's been very interesting seeing them from day 1, 2, 3, and onwards become familiar, become comfortable, and become confident. And now in the finale, they'll have to put all their learning together into a design of their own making, and it's anyone's ball game, regardless that they had experience or not. I think they have evolved into their own, you know, confidence. And what's really unique about this group is that they are sincerely very kind. Sincerely very kind people. On the 3rd day, I was wondering how we would manage with limited materials, right? And I was so surprised, pleasantly, to find out that they had policed themselves and they came up with their own schedule as to who was going to use what at a particular time. And everyone was on hand to help the other. There was no longer any need for secrecy because they knew that they were individual and unique. And what was great about it is that they, from day 1, were very vocal about the training to have been their prize. You know, that they had valued that opportunity more than the title. And to me, that is such a healthy and, you know, a very healthy and correct way of approaching the training. And this is true for home bakers, because home bakers start off with fulfillment coming only from the affirmation of their loved ones. And that is one thing that I want them to remember for years to come, that they have to just do what makes them happy, because it gives fulfillment to the ones that are closest to them. So they have created for themselves a very strong network of friends, and for myself too, a very strong network of friends that come from all over India. It's been an extremely special experience to have, and an honor to have been witness to that, to them evolving into, you know, decorators is one thing, but really good people is I think what's most important to me. The 8 finalists, the assistants, and the KitchenAid team, I am very, very grateful, because together there was no, I came into this with no expectations, but a lot of fantastic memories. So I thank you.